What's up everybody, Stress-free. I'm back on a Diablo 4 video, and here we're taking a look at the Heartseeker build. Probably the best rogue build this season for like pushing pits and overall damage wise. Let's take a look at the little preview of how the build actually functions. Primarily you'll be doing most of your damage with Shadow Clone, as you see over here. And it's kind of like a little clunky build because it has like a little burst to it. But once you get enough cooldown reduction, it should be fine. So you see that you just clump the units up, and the Heartseeker should just like blow them all up. So we'll go over the whole setup right now with the gear. And once again, I'll have the whole build guide in the description below. So let's get into my gear that I was using for this build. And plus I'll have a run at the end of the video also. So if you guys stay for that, you can see the whole playthrough. So let's start with the equipment, starting with the helmet. Here you want to be going for the Shackle, probably the best item right now for this build, because it gives you a ton of defensive layers, so you can just kind of stand there and face tank. And primarily you want to have also the maximum resources, because that's a lot of the damage that comes from here is from max resource, and you want to have the cooldown reduction. And plus the aspect also helps out here. That gives us ranks and more damage reduction. Pretty nice. And for the gems, I went for dexterity. Moving on to the chest, we got Shroud of False Death. We're primarily using this for all stats and plus all passives. Plus max life helps out also. All the other things are usually useless here. And for the sanctification, didn't hit anything good, but that's the whole point of this season, is just to like burn through a bunch of items. Nothing special here. And plus I didn't get, I want to get +2 to all ranks, but that might be bugged also. Be sure to be on the lookout and crafting some more of these. Next item that we have is the gloves. We got the Pain Gorger gauntlets. Here it has like almost all perfect affixes, and most importantly the unique aspect, which gives us like a AoE clear for our basic skills. So they just like burst out whenever you mark a target with a different spell, like primarily like with your flurry or like smoke grenade, or even dash could like work sometimes. So you mark them and you shoot your basic attack, and they just like all trigger like a whole wave. But here primarily it comes with all the good stats, like you get attack speed, cooldown reduction is king, you get like a hit to stun, also plus all the basic attack skills, very good. And I sanctify here with 108 to all stats. It's also pretty nice, but could be better. I'm still like on the lookout for other ones. Still trying to craft more. Like I have another one here. They basically kind of cancel each other out. I think this one's kind of better with all stats. Moving on to the pants, we got Tibbal's Will. These are probably great because this one is like a really offensive pants this season. Plus it gives max resources. And here I went for critical strike chance. I masterworked it. I crit the critical strike chance, no pun intended. But I think also you could go for a crit on max resources also. That stat's also good, because you want to be having like as much as possible over a max resource, because that's primarily where a lot of your damage is also coming from here. And the unique aspect here is also really good. It's like you get increased 70% increased damage while you're unstoppable. And when we casting Shadow Clone, we're unstoppable 5 seconds almost always, since we're spamming it. So these pants are great. Give me a ton of crit chance also. And for the runes, I got here Aqua Tool. So I'm just basically just like, it gives me a Frost Nova like spam, because we're like always in the face of the enemies. And like a little CC also never hurts. Next we go on for Beastfall Boots, also a very important item. Next we got the Beastfall Boots, also a very important item. We got a ton of affixes here that are really important, like max resource. Once again, you want to hit that one. You got movement speeds, okay. And most important here, you got cooldown reduction, which is great. Agile is not so good. And I got sanctified with dexterity. But what makes these boots really good is that when you cast ultimate skill, it consumes all your resources, so that's perfect for like resetting the Shadow Clone cooldown. Be on the lookout for these also, must have. I think Beast Nice drops them, so that's the boss you want to be farming. Next we got the Orphan Maker. That's not a must-have. This item is pretty much cracked out, but some people don't really like the playstyle of it because it's like a really shotgunny type of shot. You're not always spamming it, but with enough cooldown reduction and like the shadow clone stuff, it kind of becomes a little more manageable. Here I went chance for projectiles to cast twice. Also, another one that's good here is probably marksman skills. That's really good. Kind of got a little low roll on exploits, so that can be also reworked. And the unique aspect here, that's the one that makes it a little shotgunny. You get a cooldown on it, but your damage is increased by almost like 300%, which is cracked out. And for the sanctification, I got you get increased damage while you're standing still, and this triples up, so it basically gives you like almost 63% more increased damage, which is pretty nice. But this crossbow can be better. And for the runes, I got here Pak Cry. So when you spend your resources and you cast the Spirit Vortex, so that's pretty good for like clumping units up, since it really synergizes well with Pain Gorgers, like AoE clear. Next we're going for the amulet, and here you want to have adaptability. This is what we were talking about, like having your max resources really high, because this one takes account of like how much resources you have, and it's like I have always up to like 500. I'm still working on this one. This one could be also upgraded. I didn't get like anything cool with sanctification here. You got physical damage, which is like not good, and damage Dark Shroud is also interchangeable. You could switch this one to gaining when you cast ultimate skills, you gain more primary resource, so that one could also be switched out. But here I got dexterity, damage, and most important, you want to be going for these passive skills like exploit, malice, all that stuff, like frigid finesse. You want all that good stuff. And also I gotta update the aspect here. It's kind of like not maxed out yet, so be sure to look out for amulets. They're probably like one of the hardest ones to actually find in the game right now. Like I got like a bunch of them like set up ready for the sanctify, maybe to get something better than this. Next we're going for the rings. Here we got Cold Clip. This one basically imbues your basic skills with frost, and they do frost damage, like 50% of it, and you also deal damage to like chilled and frozen enemies, another 40% of that, so it's a must-have as one of your aspects. Here we got dexterity, life, critical strike chance, critical strike damage, and I got sanctification was plus like 9.7 to cold damage. And like I was saying, for the tempering here, I crit for casting ultimate skill restores 41 of your primary resource. This is really good for like spamming your shadow clone, because it just resets your primary resource, and that's with this specialization right here. When you spend your energy, you reduce the cooldown of your ultimates, and also resets other skills, so it's really good. So yeah, you want to be going for that kind of tempering. And next we're going for the next ring. Here I think I got the Dorant in Blood, in the ultimate aspect, because most of the damage with this build is coming actually from the Shadow Clone. So Shadow Clone once again is king. Before it used to be trash, but they finally made it work. So basically when you're only spamming the ultimate, and it just racks up a ton of damage up to 100% with this one. And here we got, for the affixes, we got max life, damage, lucky hit chance, critical strike, and I got also like total resistance. Once again, we got a fish for more of these rings. And for tempering, you once again, you want to be going for the ultimate skills restore your primary resource. Very important. Next we got the weapons, the melee weapons. Here you want to also get the Moonrise aspect. This one also bumps up your basic attack damage and gives you a bunch of attack speed. And for tempering, you want to get the Shadow Clone, deals more double damage. Very important also to crit that. Don't forget to do that. And other like affixes here, I got dexterity, life, damage, vuln, the basic stuff. And whatchamacallit. And also I got Sanctify here, pretty nice one. You deal 31% increased damage to stun or knock down enemies. That's like one of the S tier sanctifications that you're looking for, like the extra aspect of those damage. Must have. And for the gems, you're going for basic attack topaz, so like it just increases your basic damage by 60%. And the last item, also must have, is Shard of Rahil. You get this from farming Varshan. Must have item, ton of great stats, like all stats. Also max resource, very important. Attack speed, very important. Kind of got low roll on the basic skills, but we got a perfect roll on the aspect, and we got a secondary aspect. So that's why I'm keeping this one. Really great. The basic skills now, they actually cost resources, so it also helps out, well, like reducing your cooldown of your skills. Also, that also gives you a barrier with one of the rogue like passives, which is also key. And once you gain that barrier, you're also getting 26% more damage while you have a barrier. But I think this one's pretty cracked out. The stats could have been better on like the basic skills, but whatever, I got the max resources here at the GA. So be on the lookout for this one. This one drops from Varshan, so always be on the lookout and try to craft as many as you can. And also got a basic gem for here. That's pretty much it for the gear. I'll keep this progress updated as I go through the pit pushing. So I'll have all these gear in the build guide below. So what else? Let's move on to the specialization, I guess. We already went over it before, but let's do it again. This one, when you spend energy, you reduce your cooldown of your ultimate. Ultimate, we do all our damage with the ultimate these days. So this is very important. And also resets other skills, and it grants us more damage reduction, which is like great. Let's take a look at the skills. Of course, you got Heartseeker. Drop all your points in this one. And we're going for Fundamental Heartseeker, where enemies take increased damage by up to 15%. I've used this one before, but I think this one's is better for like boss fights also. Since we got a ton of AoE. Moving on to this part, we're going for sturdy. Nice, more damage reduction, which I like. For tanking, I'm not getting anything else here. Then we're going for caltrops, and we're going for discipline caltrops. Let's increase our critical strike chance. It's pretty nice against vulnerable targets. Here we're taking unstable elixirs for more damage. Mini power potion, weapon mastery, more damage. Shrek attacks, also more critical strike damage and critical strike chance. And we're going for ballista. Sometimes you'll be evading. Here we're going for a smoke grenade, making it to poison, extra poison damage just to activate those passives. Later on we'll see. Here malice is very important. Exploit, very important. Two key passives that are great. Next we're going for Dark Shroud. This is also great because of damage reduction. And for this we're going for countering Dark Shroud. This one is also pretty good. So some builds function with this one if you need like extra healing. But overall, this is good for like your damage reduction, since this build could focus on getting more damage per Dark Shroud, but we're gonna be taking that off our amulet. Next, we go on to the mutant section. Here, we're talking about poison, so you got like, this is the advantage you gain from this. You got deadly venom into alchemical advantage. That's like the best one here. Increase your attack speed and lucky hit chance. Very nice. You want to put points in cold imbuement, just 1 point, and go to a mixed cold imbutements. Deal extra damage. And this doubles up against like frozen enemies. And you want to get frigid finesse, another must have. One of the best like keep passives on the rogue tree. And you want Deadeye. Extra damage to distant targets. Even though we're like, oh, could be a lot of times in up close to enemies, but why not? Here we're going for Shadow Clone, of course. Our must-have, that's like where we get all the damage, and of course you want to go to get all these stats. You get more damage reduction, and of course this one, so you get unstoppable. So your Tibble's Will is always working. You're going for Impetus, bumps up your ultimate damage, and we're going for Trap Mastery. And here like Aftermath, just to restore the energy also. And onto Dawn, huge amount, which I'm going damage for the ultimate skill, and we're going for second wind here to get the barrier up as an extra layer of protection. And for here, you want to go for momentum. It's also pretty nice because you get a ton of stuff. You get damage reduction, maximum energy, which is key. Energy generation, you don't need that. Movement speed is good. Increased damage also. And the second one will be good is close quarter combat, but I think this one kind of wins out right now with this. So that's with the skill tree. Let's go to Paragon Board. I have it set up here. Starting board here. We got a control. So basically, crowd control targets to increase more damage. We're taking all these passives: Prime, Resilience, Skillful, Outlaw. Moving to the next board, we have Eldritch Bounty, increases our cold damage. And the rune here is Canny. Also increases non-physical damage, so increases all our cold damage. We're taking Concoction, we got taking Potent, we're taking Restorative, we got Ready Supply, and Imbuter. Next board, let's go this way. We have is No Witness. Basically just increases our ultimate damage up to 60%, huge. Here we're going for Devious, it just bumps up all the magic nodes. Like you see right here. We got a ton of damage, ultimate damage. Perfect. And we're getting training, we're taking Recuperate and Color. Then we're moving to the next board. We're going for Exploit Weakness. It's targets of Vuln that take more damage. Perfect. And for the glyph here, we got Fluidity. Once again, the one that bumps up our magic nodes. We got a ton of benefit from all these. Vuln damage and damage to elites. Next, we're going for the last board. We got Cheap Shot. So you deal increased damage to crowd control enemies, and you double that, but basically 60% more increased damage to them. And here you got for versatility. Once again, we're bumping up all the magic nodes here with a bunch of damage. We're taking Safeguard, taking Deviant, we're taking Calculated, and we're taking Spearheaded. That's the Paragon board. We got here from Mercenaries. We got going right here, like going for Inspiration down to that, and taking right here Ages. This one gives a ton of resistance. And this one also bumps up our damage by 25% when he does the shield. And what we got for another one? We got Ryan, I think. This is for Bloodthirst. And for Divine Gifts, what I have set up for my runs, I got a Fortified Gem. I mean, the gift. That's pretty nice for like an extra layer. And then we got more resistances. Like 20%, we got this Essence of Screams. And we also gained Essence of Sin. This is like probably the most cracked out one this season. Not only that it gives you increased attack, increased armor, but it also like bumps up crazy loots of from the world bosses. I'll have a video about that later. And for the other one, the last one, we get like a barrier every 20 seconds. I think that one could be changed. This one's pretty good also. That's about it. I'm not forgetting anything else. I got the Divine Gifts. Skill assignment, I guess. We can go through that. I got Heartseeker, Flurry. I didn't try to go over why Flurry was here. Flurry is good for building up your momentum. You cutthroat skills and grant stack of momentum. So it's a cutthroat skill, and get up. You want to get up to like to 10, and you just reduce it with Heartseeker, but you want to try to have like 10, 9, 8 like that, and that does max. So that's why we have Flurry in this setup. We got Smoke Grenade here for extra damage. Of course, you got Shadow Clone, and I spam Dark Shroud, and I got Dash Mobility. This one swaps out actually. You could probably put probably Caltrops also. That's like for the pushing build. But this one's like my farmer build right now. If I'm playing like with friends, you know, I'm running dungeon stuff like that. I like having extra mobility because like I already have enough overkill damage. But if you're trying to push higher pits, you want to have probably like this kind of setup. It's a little slower, but you're doing a ton of more damage. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'll keep this posted and updated through my pit push. So right now we're gonna take a look at pit 100. So if you guys enjoy this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and I appreciate all the support. And now let's get into the pit run. If you guys made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe for more Season 11 content. I appreciate all the support, and I'll catch you all next one. Take it easy.